You've definitely seen it. It's all over your social media feed, it's a hot topic in gym locker rooms, and it's prominently displayed on the shelves of every supplement store. Ashwagandha. This ancient herb is being aggressively marketed as a modern-day miracle for practically everything. From reducing stress and anxiety to improving focus and sleep, you name it, there's a claim for it. But among all the hype, there's one particular promise that has the fitness world buzzing, the one that's whispered with a potent mix of hope and deep-seated skepticism. Its alleged power to significantly boost testosterone. So, is this all just clever marketing preying on our desires for a quick fix? Or is there real, verifiable science to back up these bold claims? That's what we're here to uncover. We're going to cut through the noise, ignore the anecdotes, and dive deep into the actual clinical studies and scientific evidence to determine if ashwagandha truly enhances testosterone levels. By the end of this video, you won't just know if it works. You'll have a comprehensive, clear guide on how to use it safely and effectively to achieve the best possible results for your specific situation. So, what exactly is this supposed wonder herb? Ashwagandha, known by its official botanical name, Withania somnifera, is a small evergreen shrub native to parts of India, the Middle East, and Africa. The name somnifera is Latin for sleep-inducing, which hints at its traditional calming uses. This isn't some new fad supplement cooked up in a lab last year. It's a cornerstone of Ayurveda, one of the world's oldest holistic healing systems, where it's been revered as a rasayana, or rejuvenator, for thousands of years. A major reason for its explosion in popularity today is its classification as an adaptogen. You hear that word thrown around constantly, but what does it actually mean? Put simply, an adaptogen is a natural substance that helps your body adapt to and resist physical and mental stress. Think of it like a sophisticated thermostat for your body's stress response. When the primary stress hormone, cortisol, skyrockets due to a demanding job, intense workouts, or life pressures, an adaptogen helps bring it back down to a healthy baseline. Conversely, if you're feeling depleted, it can help restore energy. This intimate connection to the stress system is a huge piece of the testosterone puzzle we're about to solve. Okay, let's get to the million-dollar question. Does ashwagandha actually increase testosterone levels? While it's certainly not a magic pill or a replacement for steroids, a growing body of scientific research is showing a real measurable effect, particularly for specific groups of men. Let's break down the evidence. A key study from 2015, published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition, investigated healthy, active men between the ages of 18 and 50. For 8 weeks, the men who took 300 milligrams of ashwagandha root extract twice daily while undergoing a resistance training program saw significantly greater increases in muscle strength, muscle size, and most importantly, testosterone levels compared to the men who received a placebo. The ashwagandha group saw an average testosterone increase of 96.2 nanograms per deciliter, compared to just 18.0 nanograms per deciliter in the placebo group. Then, a 2019 study published in the American Journal of Men's Health focused on overweight men aged 40 to 70. After an 8-week period, the group supplementing with a specialized ashwagandha extract saw their salivary testosterone go up by an average of nearly 15%. And DHEAS, a crucial precursor hormone the body uses to manufacture testosterone, went up by 18%. Similar positive results pop up in other studies, often showing testosterone increases in that 15 to 22% range for these specific populations. The evidence becomes even more compelling when we look at men struggling with fertility issues. In one pivotal 90-day study, men diagnosed with low sperm counts, oligospermia, were given a daily dose of ashwagandha root extract. The results were nothing short of dramatic: a staggering 167% increase in sperm count, a 53% increase in semen volume, and a significant 17% increase in serum testosterone levels. Now, those are massive numbers, and it's critical to understand that results will vary, but it powerfully demonstrates the herb's potential in certain contexts. So, how is this all happening? The research points to two primary mechanisms of action. First, the cortisol connection. Chronic, unrelenting stress is a known testosterone killer. When your body is constantly under pressure, it pumps out the stress hormone cortisol. Cortisol and testosterone have an inverse seesaw-like relationship. When one goes up, the other tends to go down. Ashwagandha has been shown in multiple clinical trials to significantly lower cortisol levels. By mitigating the body's stress response, it effectively takes the foot off the brake, creating a more favorable hormonal environment where testosterone can thrive. Second, it functions as a powerful antioxidant and hormonal signaling agent. The Leydig cells in your testes, which are responsible for producing the vast majority of your testosterone, are highly vulnerable to damage from oxidative stress. Think of it as a kind of cellular rust. Ashwagandha's potent antioxidant properties help shield these cells from damage, allowing them to function optimally. Furthermore, some research suggests it helps increase levels of luteinizing hormone LH, which is the specific hormonal signal sent from the pituitary gland that tells the testes to get to work producing testosterone. The science clearly shows it can work. This brings us to the crucial practical part. How do you actually use it to your advantage? Getting the details right is the key to maximizing potential benefits while ensuring you stay safe. First and foremost, let's talk about dosage. Across most of the successful clinical trials, the effective dose is remarkably consistent. The research sweet spot generally falls between 300 and 600 milligrams of a standardized ashwagandha root extract per day. This is often split into 2 doses, for example, taking 300 milligrams in the morning and another 300 in the evening, with meals to improve absorption and maintain stable levels. While some studies use raw powder, the data for concentrated extracts points squarely to that 300 to 600 milligram range. So what kind should you actually buy? When you're on the supplement aisle, you'll see brand names like KSM66, which is a specific, highly researched, full-spectrum extract made only from the plant's root. You don't have to get a specific brand, but the key is to look for a standardized root extract. This is your assurance that you're getting a consistent, guaranteed concentration of the active compounds, called withanolides, which are typically standardized to 5% by HPLC. This ensures you're using a product similar to what the scientists used in their trials. But here's perhaps the most important question. Who is most likely to see the biggest benefits? The science is abundantly clear that this is not a one-size-fits-all testosterone booster. The effects are most pronounced and reliable in very specific groups. Men dealing with chronic stress, men with diagnosed fertility problems, and aging men whose testosterone is naturally on the decline are the primary candidates who are most likely to experience a real, significant increase. Let's be blunt. If you're a young, healthy man in your early 20s with already high or optimal testosterone levels, you are very unlikely to notice much, if anything, from taking ashwagandha. Finally, you must think about cycling. Most of the relevant ashwagandha studies run for about 8 to 12 weeks. Because we don't have extensive long-term data on its safety beyond the 3-month mark, a smart and responsible approach is to cycle its use. For instance, taking it daily for 3 months and then taking a full month off is a common and sensible way to supplement. Before you rush out to buy a bottle, we need to have a serious and frank discussion about safety, potential side effects, and the undeniable downsides. While ashwagandha is generally considered safe for short-term use for most people, it is absolutely not risk-free. The most commonly reported side effects are usually mild and gastrointestinal in nature, things like an upset stomach, diarrhea, or a feeling of drowsiness. However, there are more serious concerns to be aware of. Though it's considered rare, there have been several case reports of it causing liver problems, some of which were severe, especially with long-term use or at very high doses. This risk appears to be significantly higher for individuals who already have underlying liver issues. This brings us to a critical, non-negotiable point. There are certain people who absolutely should not take ashwagandha. First, pregnant or breastfeeding women should avoid it, as high doses could potentially lead to complications. Second, if you have an autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, or multiple sclerosis, you need to exercise extreme caution. Ashwagandha can make the immune system more active, which could stoke the fire and worsen symptoms or trigger a flare-up of these conditions. Third, anyone with a thyroid disorder truly needs to speak with a doctor first. Ashwagandha can increase thyroid hormone levels, which could be dangerous for someone with hyperthyroidism or interfere with medication for hypothyroidism. Fourth, because it can increase testosterone, it's a definite no-go for men with hormone-sensitive prostate cancer, as it could potentially accelerate the disease's progression. Finally, it can interact with a whole host of common medications, including sedatives, immunosuppressants, and drugs for diabetes, blood pressure, and seizures. The bottom line is simple and must be followed. If you have any pre-existing health condition or are taking any form of medication, you must talk to your doctor before you even consider taking ashwagandha. So, after diving into the science, what's the bottom line? Does ashwagandha truly enhance testosterone levels? The answer is a qualified yes, but with a very important catch. The evidence strongly suggests it can provide a modest but real and measurable boost to testosterone. However, this effect is most reliable and significant for men who are specifically dealing with chronic stress, facing fertility issues, or experiencing age-related hormone decline. For those individuals, it can be a very useful tool. But let's be crystal clear, it is not a steroid substitute. Its true power seems to lie in its ability to lower the stress hormone cortisol, which in turn creates a more favorable environment for your body's own natural testosterone production to recover and normalize. Think of it as a tool, not a panacea or a cure-all. And like any effective tool, it must be used correctly and for the right job. Sticking to the clinically proven dose of 300 to 600 milligrams per day, choosing a high-quality standardized root extract, and most importantly, understanding who it's actually for are the absolute keys to using it safely and effectively. And now I want to hear from you. Have you tried ashwagandha? What was your experience? Did you notice anything, good or bad, with your energy levels, stress, or performance in the gym? Drop your personal story and any questions you have in the comments below. If you got value out of this evidence-based breakdown and want more no-hype guides on health and fitness, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.